Buddha's teachings on how to get up after falling, live a happy and free life. Let go of worries. 1. Introduction: The art of rising after falling. Life is a journey of endless ups and downs. Sometimes we walk with confidence. Other times we stumble and fall. In those moments of pain and confusion, we may feel as if the world has turned its back on us. Yet, the Buddha's teachings remind us that falling is not failure, it is a natural part of human experience. A doorway to deeper understanding and awakening. Just as the lotus rises from the mud to bloom in pure beauty, so too can our hearts rise from suffering to freedom. Every fall, every mistake, and every tear carries within it the seed of transformation. The question is not whether we will fall, but whether we can rise again with awareness, compassion, and wisdom. The Buddha taught that true happiness does not depend on never falling, it depends on how we respond when we do. Through mindfulness, self-understanding, and letting go of attachment, we can stand up again, lighter, wiser, and freer than before. 2. Understanding suffering, the first noble truth. The Buddha's path begins with a simple yet profound truth. Life is dukkha, life contains suffering. To suffer is not to fail. To suffer is to be human. It is the very recognition of suffering that awakens us to the need for understanding. We fall when our expectations are unmet, when relationships break, when health declines, when loss strikes. But the Buddha did not teach us to fear these moments. Instead, he encouraged us to look deeply into them. He said, "There is suffering, and there is a way out of suffering." By acknowledging our pain without running from it, we begin to see its nature. We realize that suffering is not a punishment, but a teacher, showing us where we are still clinging, where we have not yet let go. Understanding suffering is the first step in getting up after falling. It transforms pain into wisdom and despair into clarity. 3. Why we fall, the root of attachment and expectation. The Buddha identified attachment, upadana, and craving, tanha, as the roots of suffering. We fall because we cling to people, to outcomes, to ideas about how life should be. We build castles in the mind, then despair when they crumble. A person loses their job and feels worthless, a relationship ends, and one believes life has lost meaning. Yet, all of this arises from identification with the transient, the impermanent, anicca. The Buddha said, "Whatever is subject to arising is subject to ceasing." When we forget this, we hold on tightly to things destined to change. And when they change, we fall. But when we remember impermanence, we learn to hold everything, even pain, with gentleness. Falling then becomes part of the dance, not the end of it. 4. The Buddha's wisdom on rising again. When the Buddha was asked how to deal with the suffering of life, he did not promise to remove the storms. Instead, he offered the dharma, the path that helps us walk through storms without being carried away by them. To rise after falling, the Buddha taught 4 essential insights. 1. Recognize and accept the fall. Don't resist it. Don't pretend you are fine. Awareness is the beginning of healing. As rain breaks through an ill-thatched house, so passion leaks into an undeveloped mind. Awareness seals the roof of the mind, it protects the heart from drowning in delusion. 2. See the cause. Ask, why did I fall? Not to blame yourself, but to see clearly the roots, maybe attachment, anger, or ignorance. Seeing clearly is liberation. 3. Let go of the cause. Forgive, release, and return to the present. When you loosen your grip, life can flow again. 4. Walk the path again with mindfulness. Rising up is not about bouncing back to what was, but awakening to what is. You walk again, but this time with eyes open. 5. Letting go, the path to freedom and peace. Letting go is one of the most misunderstood teachings of the Buddha. Many people think it means giving up or becoming indifferent. But in truth, letting go is love in its purest form, love without attachment, care without control. To let go means to stop fighting against what is. It means to stop clinging to the past, stop fearing the future, and open your heart to the present. In the end, only 3 things matter: how much you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you. The Buddha compared the process of letting go to dropping a hot coal. We hold on to anger, guilt, and fear, and we burn ourselves. Letting go simply means releasing the coal. The pain ends instantly, not because life changes, but because we do. When we let go, we make space for peace, for wisdom, for joy to arise naturally. This is how we rise after falling, not by holding on tighter, but by loosening our grip. 6. The practice of mindfulness and compassion. To get up after falling, we must learn to be mindful and compassionate, both toward ourselves and others. Mindfulness, sati, is the practice of being fully present, aware of what is happening inside and around us without judgment. When we fall, mindfulness helps us see clearly, this is sadness, this is pain, this is fear. By naming our feelings, we stop being consumed by them. Compassion, karuna, is the warm heart that embraces our pain with kindness. The Buddha said, "You can search the entire universe for someone more deserving of your love and compassion than yourself, and you will not find that person anywhere." When we combine mindfulness with compassion, we transform our relationship with failure. We no longer ask, "Why did this happen to me?" but instead, "What is this teaching me?" That gentle shift opens the door to growth. Mindfulness grounds us. Compassion softens us. Together, they allow us to stand again, calm, open, and unafraid. 7. Finding joy in the present moment. When we fall, we often lose sight of joy. We become trapped in regret or fear. But the Buddha taught that true joy is not dependent on circumstances. It is found in awareness itself, in the freshness of each moment. Thich Nhat Hanh, a great modern teacher of the Buddha's wisdom, often said, "Happiness is not something you have to look for. It is right here, in this very breath." To rise again means to rediscover this joy, not in success or perfection, but in being alive. Drink tea slowly. Feel the air on your skin. Smile to yourself. This is the practice of awakening joy. When you learn to be present, every breath becomes a miracle. Every moment becomes new. Joy is not the absence of suffering. It is the ability to meet suffering with an open heart. 8. Living freely, without fear or regret. Freedom is the ultimate goal of the Buddha's path, freedom from attachment, from fear, from illusion. To live freely does not mean to escape the world, but to live in it with understanding. When we truly understand impermanence, we no longer fear loss. When we understand karma, we no longer blame others. When we understand non-self, anatta, we no longer carry the burden of ego. Freedom arises when we let go of trying to control life and begin to trust its unfolding. Let go of fear, and you will be free. Let go of self, and you will find peace. A free person walks lightly, not because the path is easy, but because they no longer cling. They fall, they rise, and they smile, knowing that both are part of the great flow of existence. 9. Conclusion. Falling is part of awakening. To fall is human. To rise again, mindfully, is divine. The Buddha never promised us a life without storms, but he gave us the wisdom to find peace within the storm. Every fall is an invitation to awaken. Every wound can become a window for light to enter. When we rise with understanding, we no longer fear the next fall, we see it as part of the dance of life. So, if you have fallen, do not despair. Sit quietly, breathe, feel your heart. Know that this moment, too, is a teacher. Let go of what no longer serves you. Forgive yourself, smile gently, and take one mindful step forward. Because the path of awakening is not about never falling. It is about falling and rising with awareness, compassion, and freedom. As a lotus rises unsoiled from the mud, so the wise rise above the world. In peace, in mindfulness, in love,